welcome back to my channel. It is Carrie from Coffee and Crafts. I hope you are having a fabulous weekend. I am not. I have a cold, so my voice is a little bit off, so sorry for any squeakiness. So what are we doing today? We are finally doing our what I colored in June. So I did touch these 5 books and we're going to go through them one by one. So let's get started. I'll start with, oh, oops, I bumped the camera. I'm stepping on the cord here. Edit that out. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is A Million Sea Creatures. I did a page at the beginning of the month. Let's start over. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is A Million Sea Creatures, Marine Cuties to Color by Lulu Mayo. I started coloring a page at the beginning of this month, and I did a color along, and I'm not 100% happy with it. It's in the ugly stage. I had a lot of problems with it, so I'd like to talk to you about that kind of as a disclaimer or warning about products. So I started out with Faber-Castell stick pastels, like the real ones. So I did a little bit of purple and some dark blue to make it look like night sky. And I like how that came out. However, I didn't erase it well enough, and so when I used an acrylic sealer, a wet like glue sealer, and when I did that, it was very difficult for the Staedtler pencils that are not highly pigmented. They were having a hard time going over that pencil. And so I would still use the pastels, but I would be a lot more studious with erasing because you can erase pastel. So I got in a hurry and made mistakes. So I switched to fine liners and glitter pens for the creatures and the waves, and some of even the fine liner, the glitter pen even did not want to go over some of that sealed pastel. Like right in here, I could not get a solid fill, and I didn't really think about my colors that much, so I'm not super happy with the choices I made, but I mean, it looks okay. And we can work on it a little more. I still have these balloons to color to finish the page, and a few stars down here, so it's almost done. All right, so lesson learned, we move on, right? Okay, so the next one I'll show you is this one, A Million Baby Animals, Little Creatures to Color, Lulu Mayo. And this is a super cute book. I barely touched it, but I did use my Artiso glitter watercolor. And just one evening, I just wanted to do something easy and fun, and I was enjoying those watercolor paints. And so I just did the leaves, some basing, mainly leaves and some flowers here. Will I go back over it? I might do a little bit of pencil work to create some shading. And then I still have all the cute little creatures that I need to color in. So I'm not sure what medium I'll use. It was also kind of a test to see whether it would bleed through, and it had absolutely no effect. That watercolor paint and this paper works really well. I didn't get any warping, no bleed through, no bubbling up or anything. So yeah, so that's cute. I'm excited to continue to work on this cute little book. And then last but not least, A Million Cats. And this is Fabulous Felines to Color by Lulu Mayo. And the page that I worked on is this one. And I actually did a color along on this page. And it was a lot of fun. I used that Artiso metallic watercolor paint for the background. And you know, some people have mentioned that it looks messy when you're using watercolor, but I think that when you're doing backgrounds, it's usually sky or grass or water, and a little bit of marbling effect makes it feel more realistic, I think, because the earth is not perfect. It's not a perfect wash. Life is not a perfect wash, right? So I like doing watercolor for the background. I'd like to also explore some other options. And in July, I'll probably try something new out. If you have any suggestions or can chime in what you like to do for the backgrounds, let me know, unless it's pencil. I am done with doing pencil for backgrounds. Okay, so once we got the background done, I did all of these cute pink little flowers. And I used Faber-Castell Pitt pens to do that. And I think it came out nice. I kind of wish I had picked a different pink for the darker shade, because this one looks kind of reddish pink, but it's still cute. I still like it. I struggled a little bit when I got to the cats because I discovered that there is a tail missing here. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know. Should I do something about it? I could maybe do some coloring around it, darken this area as if it's a cat falling down. I don't know. I'm not here to draw people. So if I need to fill in a little something, that's fine. But I guess they lost their tail. So I colored it the same as this kitty because I don't see his tail, so maybe he lost his tail. So sad. When he jumped up, tail fell off. Okay, so I think they call that a bobcat when cats don't have a tail. All right, what else did I do? So I did one orange cat because he's kind of trying to steal this kitty's space, and so he's the troublemaker. So I made him different from the other ones. Okay. I did try to do some Posca, and I regretted it. I wish I had used some of my Arctic's acrylic markers to emphasize some of the markings. Or maybe some fine liners. So I need to practice with that. All right, and then I did use Pitt pens and fine line markers for the tree. Now the tree is blank, like it's just one square or rectangle. It didn't have all these lines in it, so I did use a method where you purposely try to get your Pitt pen marker to streak, which it really didn't streak much. I was struggling with getting it to streak, so those Pitt pens might be good for backgrounds. But I purposely put some gaps in between, and then I filled those gaps with fine liner. I used our Tisa fine liners and then the Faber-Castell Pitt pens. Yeah, so overall, I am happy with this page. I think I could have did better, but we also have a second chance. We do need to finish the other side of this page, so we will work on that this month. I will probably use the same color scheme. I might use more pinkish flowers. If you have any suggestions of what I should do to color the kitties, be sure and tell me in the comments. All right, so loving this book so far. And that's the first page I've done in this book. And it was a gift. This was a gift. So thank you to my followers that are gifting me products. It helps support the channel. All right, another, as long as we're on an animal theme, let's move on to Symphony of Cute Animals. A curious coloring book adventure, and boy isn't it. Kanoko Igusa, and I am really loving this book. So for, let's find our, well, we did a couple of things in this page. I'm pretty sure I did this month, but I did some of the background on this cover page and this flower. And I'm just using, what am I using in this one? I'm using my, I think I was using my Black Widows for this one. I'm not 100% sure. I think I was using my Black Widow for this page. Black Widow pencils. Black Widow pencils are a very hard pencil, so they would be good for animal fur. They'd be a good substitute for polychromos if you can't afford polychromos. But not a very soft pencil, so it was hard doing the background and making it even. Okay, lesson learned on that. I bought those before I knew about hard pencils and soft pencils. Alright, let's find our fox page. I did work on it a little bit more. I've done a couple of color alongs if you're interested in finding those on the channel. Should be in the Agusa playbook. But here's the little fox guy. I'm not sure what I completed in June on this one, but I know, in May, but I know I worked on it somewhere in June, off camera. So we've done some mountains and trees. Before I go any further, I used Faber-Castell pencils, pastel pencils, which I like that too. I don't know, I might like it better. Pencils are more controlled, a lot easier, but the sticks are softer. So I think they're both enjoyable. It just depends on, do you want to be more controlled or not? Okay, so I colored in the flowers in June. I did some pinks. Try to have a little bit of variety, and some purples, and then I did some blues up in here, and I just try to do some darks. I try to make it look like they're bending a little bit, so I did some dark at the bottom and the tips, and kind of have a light going on here. Yeah, so I still have a little bit more flowers to do, but it's getting really close, and I'd like to go in and darken some of the grass that sticks up, and I'd like to do more with his fur. So I'm going to try to work on that in July. But it's coming along. I think it's really pretty. And I absolutely love working with pastels. The only thing that's a bummer about them is you have to seal them somehow. And yeah, that's kind of a bummer. That's the one thing that's nice about watercolor, is that you don't have to seal it. Alright, so this is my last book that I worked on, Lost Ocean. If you know, you know. I use this book for experimentation and to give myself permission to mess up. And so it might not be the greatest colorings, or you might like what I'm doing. Alright, so I finished this flower looking thing. I don't know really what to call it. It's kind of like a flower bouquet. It's got leaves. And I used my Staedtler fine liners, the ones that were more transparent, and I used a 3 colorway. Tried to keep it to like 3 colors, where I was alternating this bright pink, this green, and then this light blue. And Then for the leaves, I used my glitter markers, some greens and some yellows and some oranges. And I think that looks really pretty. I want to do something for the background, but I'm not sure what I want to do. I might do like a vignette where you just do the corners, or I have some ideas on a method for doing watercolor that doesn't. I could honestly do watercolor over the top of this whole thing because this is marker, so it's not gonna take. I don't think it would take it over. And really, I could do pastel all over and then erase the middle part. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you do for the background on this if it was fine liner? All right. Let's see. Oh, I did work on this a little bit, so not too exciting, but I'm doing this wallpaper. And when I'm feeling really sick, which has been recently, I like to work on this, and it's just mindless coloring. It's just a Stabler fine liner, the light blue, and I'm just coloring in the background. When your background is really cut up like this, using fine liner is a good option. So yeah, I think that's it. I have a few WIPS that I haven't touched in June that I could try to work on. So we'll see how the month goes. I have been working for the beginnings of July, I have been working in, I'll just give you a sneak peek to that. Let's see, let me get it. Rid of these books. I christened Magical Jungle, started a page in that. I've done a couple of shorts recently, some pieces to it, but so far I'm liking this book. And let's see, let me find the page. So just to be clear, this is not what I colored in June. I started this beginning of July, and it's just a sneak peek of what you can look forward to in the future. So I'm working on this piece, and just kind of spoke to me, and I'm using Faber-Castell watercolor pencils, and I'm using a color scheme for it. So we can talk about that in my next video. I'd like to demonstrate how I'm doing the leaves and the buildings and what my color scheme is for it, and and the shells. So I'd like to do a couple of videos on leaves and shells, so you can look forward to that in the future. And then the other one that I started in July is this color by number. I was kind of curious about color by number books, if I would like them, and I'm kind of on the fence. So I saw someone do another color by number book, and I thought it was a cool idea. Maybe when you're not feeling good, to work on that, and then you don't have to stress about colors as much. But I'm not really liking how it's coming out. So what you do is you have this color key, and then you can make these represent anything you want, any medium, any color, anything, or you can try to color match to what they have. So I color matched to what they had, and I worked on this cover page a little bit, and then I started on this first page, and it just feels very kitschy, like a paint by number. So I don't know, I'm not liking it. I'm kind of thinking I might try with a different medium, or maybe come up with my own color scheme for it. Maybe I would like it more then. I've seen a lot of people use either polychromos or a hard pencil. So I don't have polychromos at the moment. So I have Black Widows though. So I might try with my Black Widows and do some blending. Or I may try using my Arteza fine liners. If you have done paint by numbers and have any suggestions for me for upcoming videos that we can do, and if this interests you, let me know. I was kind of thinking you could do the paint by number and pick your own colors. That's kind of what I was kind of thinking of. Or come up with more of a color scheme, because I like to use the color wheel and color scheme and teach you guys a little bit about color theory. So I might just come up with a more limited color scheme. But even what's cool about these is you can change the color scheme for every page. So if you don't like what you came up with, and maybe the fish are so cut up and colorful that I'm not liking that. I do have another book that's color by number that I actually saw Lauren Reed Colors, I believe that's her name. She started working in this book, and that video enabled me. It made me want to buy a couple of these and try them out. So maybe it's just the fish are not coming out well. The color scheme is a lot different than the other book. So I may, and these are more scenes than fish. So I might try again in this book and do a more limited color palette. Oh, there's a little kitty and boats. I really love coastal scenes, so I need to find more books that have coastal scenes. And scenery, I like things that are more realistic. Landscapes. Yeah, so I'm wanting to do a series on paint color by number, but let me know if you have any suggestions. Alright, that is going to do it for our what I colored in June 2025. Thanks for listening, and thanks for subscribing, commenting, doing all the things that you do to support the channel. Also, sending me gifts. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, so if you like the video, please like the video. If you would like to see more content, be sure and hit that bell. Make sure you don't miss one of my videos. And I hope you have a fabulous July and happy coloring.